Hello out there, everybody. I'm Lou Wieland, and I publish the official relocation guides on Atlanta. They're called Community Profiles, and they are distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service of Atlanta. We have 5 different publications, one for the metro area, one for Cobb County in partnership with the Cobb Association of Realtors, and one for Gwinnett in partnership with the Gwinnett Chamber, and North Fulton with the North Fulton Chamber in Atlanta, and Inside 285, all distributed by First Multiple Listing Service for the convenience of real estate agents and for people moving here and purchasing homes. They're cram-packed with information about Atlanta. The website is atlantacommunityprofiles.com, and FMLS, our First Multiple Listing Service, has been distributing these for 27 years. So be sure to pick up a copy at the appropriate time, or look on my website to download a copy or read a copy, along with a great deal of other information about Atlanta. And speaking of FMLS, our guest today is Jeremy Crawford, who is the Chief Executive Officer of First Multiple Listing Service. Jeremy, welcome back to the show for our monthly interview. It's awesome to have an opportunity to chat with you during a very hectic time. Thank you for your privilege of your company.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Lou. It's a pleasure to be back.
So one thing that occurred to me, Jeremy, that might be of interest to people is the fact that your background is extremely impressive in terms of, in many ways, but of course in terms of computer science and information technology. And that has really prepared you extremely well for this unique time in our economy and specifically in the real estate market. How would you, and you looking back on the preparation that you've had, how has that served you so well to address the real estate market in this time?
Yeah, absolutely, Lou. As you and many of you listening today know, that technology is really helping enable the brokers and agents to move properties while keeping them safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. And from my background perspective, prior to FMLS, I ran the Real Estate Standards Organization nationwide as their CEO. And we were a virtual company, 100%. None of our employees were actually in the same state. We did not have 2 employees in the same state. And so we ran a very successful company with massive growth and benefits to the brokers and the agents in the industry virtually. So when I came on board at FMLS, did not obviously, as anyone else, see the pandemic coming about, but we were very traditional in our employees primarily coming into the office for training, technical support, customer support, etc. And with COVID-19, we want to make sure that our employees are safe, but primarily our employees are able to produce for the brokers and agents and provide them the service that they need. And so I utilized my computer science background with graduating from East Tennessee State University and my recent experience from running a virtual company to put into place the tools for our employees to be safe and work remotely. And interestingly enough, if we look at statistics just from a company perspective, we've done more training, more CE credits, more technical support, more call volume, more live chats than we've ever done as a company being virtual. And so I've leveraged that and leveraged my background in running Rezo virtually to help us shift to a virtual, because we don't want our employees, obviously, for the health and well-being of them, be sick, but also it's critical that they stay healthy so we can support the brokers and agents and on their industry. And so very happy to bring that skill set out to our brokers and agents and make sure that our employees are available to 100% serve those brokers and agents, and move into providing them things such as virtual training instead of on site that is still CE accredited, provide new live streaming open house opportunities that they weren't using a year ago and are using 80-90% of the showings they're doing now via live streaming and virtually, just like we're live streaming today. So it's been a great benefit to bring that in, and we have a lot of great technical background employees at our company. our information technology department has done a stellar job in making sure all of our employees have been able to work remotely and provide the same, if not a higher level of service to brokers and agents, and allow them to pivot what they're using to stay successful while also being able to physically distance themselves for the safety of their own brokerage agents and their clients that they're serving.
Well, your unique background has prepared you for this extremely well. And as a result, the first multiple listing service, Atlanta, has performed extremely well in comparison to many other multiple listing services around the country. In fact, I saw a recent article in USA Today that mentioned that Atlanta was one of the top performing cities in terms of its ability to address the state of our economy and the real estate industry. How would you characterize that compared to others? And is it because of this extreme excellence that you've demonstrated with virtual technology that's put us up among the top 2 or 3 leading cities in America in dealing with the problem?
Well, I can actually have to give kudos and credit out to our brokers and agents. In March and April of this year, our brokers and agents went way out of their way to learn the new technology offerings we had available with the Remine live streaming, Showing Time live streaming, Cloud CMA live streaming, and they really went above and beyond taking classes, CE accredited classes and webinars to learn how to utilize the products and the tools we were providing. So a lot of the credit goes out to them because they have done a major shift in how they do business. And the statistics from Atlanta compared to other markets are showing we still have, housing inventory shortages, but we still have a very extensive market. The agents are showing properties right now 10% more than they were doing in 2019 in the same month period. 10% more showings, and they're doing that virtually. And that is an amazing task to shift your entire business from what you did physically to moving into virtually. So I have to get a huge shout out to our brokers and agents being able to pivot their business operations to be virtual themselves and serve their clients in a way that they've never done before, with stress on the economy from the COVID-19 pandemic and things that we never thought we would have to deal with just a year ago. And so it really is a testimony out to the consumers of how well the brokers and agents of FMLS's membership has performed during this time frame.
Training of those brokers has contributed greatly to their performance, without a doubt. And you have provided the most sophisticated training available in the United States right now among any multiple listing service of the agents. So we congratulate you and we appreciate that. And some of the benefits in terms of sheer numbers of that are facts such as the 36% as of yesterday, I think, of all listings, of all houses that are sold at list price or above. And that is pretty amazing considering this COVID-19 pandemic. What are some of the other indicators of our outstanding performance?
Well, I get asked a lot about statistics, and as we looked at the month of June compared to June in 2019, we have an inventory shortage, and I think everyone listening today realizes that as we have an extensive inventory shortage, the number of new listings that we're seeing added compared to 2019 for detached in the month of June, that was actually down. For the number of active listings, we were down 30-some%. But with that being said, our total sales and the number of units was down under 3% compared to 2019. And the sales volume was actually only down 1% compared to 2019. And if you take a look at, as you mentioned, Lou, our average list price is up almost 14% compared to 2019 for detached listings. And the volume of sales there is right with 2019 numbers. We see a little bit less on the attached listings, but we take a look at the home ownership preferences in today's economy. some are looking for a larger home as they're moving to having to work out of a home office. So we're seeing an extreme shortage in detached listings and an extreme demand out there by the consumers to look outside of the perimeter as they've never looked before and look for larger homes, detached homes, as opposed to attached community-based homes. And I think part of that is COVID, but overall, the agents are truly working the market to be able to say they're doing dollar volume what they did in 2019. And I really think that while I'm not an economist, the housing industry is actually aiding the economy substantially. The real estate brokers and agents are as busy as they've ever been. There is a huge demand for housing in the Atlanta marketplace, and it's much healthier than other markets across the nation. We are performing way better than all of the cities out in California, and we're still seeing an influx of relocation into Atlanta, even with COVID. There's still a lot of people moving out of other metro areas into Atlanta, and they're wanting home ownership. And with interest rates now below 3%, which is amazing and something we never thought we would talk about 10 to 15 years ago, this conversation wouldn't have ever been had of a 3% 30-year fixed mortgage or below. That's helping the affordability aspect to make buyers available to buy those homes in the Atlanta marketplace. So it's extremely healthy, and we're looking at July numbers week by week that continue to trend alongside of June. And year to date, Lou, we're up 3.5% on our average list price compared to last year. And while we saw a huge drop in April and May, we are being beat of 2019 statistics as we move into the summer timeframe. So I think our spring selling season had a lull due to COVID, and as agents retooled themselves to work virtually, but we are seeing that listings just move right off the shelf. As you said, days on market are extremely down, and we're seeing, just as you mentioned, the list price becomes the sell price pretty close, if not over, in today's marketplace.
You know, one thing, we do have listeners who are agents or viewers who are agents, as well as home buyers and sellers. And Jeremy, FMLS has done an amazing job recently of adding new platforms for even improving the technology that we offer agents. I wonder if you might just take a minute and try to summarize some of those improved platforms for agents to make their jobs easier and help them contribute more to the home buyers and sellers.
We have not stopped at FMLS increasing the products and services available. We've actually put our pedal on to the floor, if you will, and tried to really elevate. We launched Remine earlier this year. Remine is a full suite to provide brokers dual entry ad edit. So brokers at now no cost to them can use Remine ad edit for dual entry and put listings into FMLS, as well as Georgia MLS for the convenience if they're dual members out there. But Remine also comes with a full state-of-the-art transaction management platform. Many of our agents have been using rDocs for years, and one of the challenges when I came on board 18 months ago, going towards 2 years here, not before too long as time flies, is that rDocs was an unstable platform. It had user interface issues, it was down a lot, and one of my tasks is to provide a better platform. So we launched Remine Docs, and now you can get CE accredited training, and Remine Docs integrates with Remine Ad Edit and Remine Pro, and that's all a member benefit to our brokers and agents. And all of their historical transactional information was imported from rDocs to Remine Docs Plus, and we're looking to move the industry to using Remine Docs Plus as the preferred platform. Now, as you mentioned also earlier, Lou, training, we are launching MindFlash. So we have now enabled MindFlash, was a state-of-the-art online learning system to provide agents CE accredited training through online courses that they can take at their own pace. And they can get CE accredited training doing online courses that are self-driven at the time that they'd like to do it from the comforts of their home office, or if they are going into an office space safely as well. And that is another platform that we've just launched. And so we want to encourage all of our brokers and agents to embrace Remine Docs Plus as the new state-of-the-art transaction management system that follows the workflow of the GAR forms as well as the RE forms we provide for our non-realtor members out there. And we want to make sure that everyone's moving onto those platforms and giving those CE accredited training free member benefit out there and moving them into that new state-of-the-art platform, as well as embracing MindFlash, which is now launching. And the last thing, product-wise and partnership-wise, Lou, that we are launching next month, we're very excited about, as we talked about it at the beginning of the year, is a partnership with the Macon MLS. So now our brokers and agents next month are going to have access to all of Macon MLS's data right inside of that Remine platform, as well as the CoreLogic Matrix platform that they have access to today with FMLS listings. We will be opening up and they will have access to all of Middle Georgia MLS's listings, and they will be able to know that Middle Georgia MLS agents and brokers will have the same access and also have the same products that we are going to be providing to them, so that they can help refer business back up to the Atlanta market area and vice versa. And so we're very excited about the partnership with Middle Georgia MLS. And this is going to be a statewide exclusive that you have to be an FMLS member if you want access to Remine. You have to be an FMLS member if you want access to Macon, Georgia MLS's properties through FMLS. And if you're in Macon and you want access to FMLS's data, you have to be a member of your local Middle Georgia MLS there. And that's a partnership that we formed earlier this year and now are excited to see that launching next month. And we'll be providing CE accredited training for free out to all of those Middle Georgia MLS members as well. So hopefully a few of them are listening today and going to be excited about that, as we're very excited to see that launch. And with the inventory constraints, Macon is not that far away from the Southern Crescent. And there could be agents that we have that have buyers coming into Atlanta from Macon or vice versa, especially when you look at Warner Robins Air Force Base and the activity that go there with all of our military forces and armed forces that do so much to help our country. We're going to be able to help them move those properties in and out faster and hopefully open up some inventory with the challenges we're having today.
Actually, in truth, as a real estate agent with Keller Williams and KW Commercial specifically, I'm seeing more and more listing activity come across Atlanta from Macon, especially multifamily and the commercial side and commercial leases and investment properties. And so it's almost like we're kind of, I don't know, sort of not exactly melding, but we're definitely becoming more of a part of a metro area with them, to some degree at least.
Absolutely. And if you remembered, Lou, we've had requests for many years, and a couple of months ago, we finally launched the new commercial lease property type. In the first couple of months, we have had hundreds of new commercial lease listings entered into FMLS, and we're seeing that activity increase so we can help that expansive marketplace. As we know, the commercial space is going to change. Some companies are actually looking for more commercial space. They need more space so they can help physically distance their employees in their offices. And it's going to be very important for those out there in the commercial space, just as yourself, Lou, to utilize the new products and services we have available for the commercial lease property type that we added just a couple of months ago, and rentals as well. As the inventory is constrained, we are seeing the rental market boom. We've had about a 45% increase in the number of rental listings inside of FMLS. And for those of you that do help property managers, remind them that Zillow charges a per day fee for every listing that's from a property manager. But if that listing is through FMLS, there is no fee for that rental to be populated and displayed and advertised on Zillow. So it's an opportunity for our brokers and agents to get with property managers and help them move their properties and increase the broker and agent's opportunity for commissions from the rental and the commercial lease space as well. We want to enable our brokers and agents to have access to move as much type of property as possible. And that's why we've opened up the door with commercial lease, and we've expanded what we've done with rental. And in the current times out there are a lot of people with inventory shortages looking at rental opportunities to bridge the gap to get them into the home ownership that they desire. That house is just not yet available. So I'd encourage everyone to embrace that. and agents to go talk to their property managers that they work with and get all of those listings put into FMLS, be it residential or commercial lease type of properties, because that's an advertising opportunity and a potential source of commission opportunity for them, so they can list those with us and we can help advertise and move those properties even faster.
Jeremy, I know one key event during the year is Showcase. It's called Showcase. It's at the Cumberland Galleria every year for many years, where people who provide products and services to the real estate market display their products and services. And this year, for the first time, it will be an online event. Can you
Yes.
please help agents understand how that will actually work in reality, and how they can participate and benefit?
Yeah, absolutely. So to keep all of the brokers and agents safe, our August 27th showcase date has gone from a physical to a virtual, and that will be virtually streamed live online. It will be free to all brokers and agents. Normally we charge a nominal $10 fee, and that money and proceeds typically goes to organizations such as Habitat for Humanity. We are moving that to virtual. We won't have your traditional expo show floor, if you will, of vendors, but we will have stellar speakers. We have Elliot Eisenberg, who is known as the bow tie economist in the nation. He will be one of our keynote speakers. We have panelists from experts all across the industry in the local area Atlanta market, and that's going to be streamed live, so agents will have a live interactive experience for the entire day of August 27th. So go visit the Atlanta Realtor Association's website, get registered. Again, it's free. You'll get all of the information, all of the speakers and the agenda details, the timing of each of those speakers that'll be online. And we are going to make it a very interactive experience for the brokers and agents and provide as much of a showcase virtually as they've known and loved for over a decade physically. And again, we have always sent all of the proceeds of that to charitable organizations inside of the real estate industry, and will continue to do so. So even though it is virtual, we do have sponsors for the event, and those sponsors are key partners into that event. Will still help give proceeds back to those charitable organizations while providing a rich showcase for the brokers and agents at no charge to them on August 27th. So again, visit the Atlanta Realtor Association's website, and they can register online for free and be ready for that astounding virtual conference with Elliot Eisenberg and many others that are experts in our industry locally throughout the day that'll be speaking.
Jeremy, we still have more changes to come with the economy, and with unemployment being what it is, 11%, and unemployment benefits may be expiring, and all kinds of different dynamics at play. It's hard to keep track of how they will impact the economy and the real estate market specifically. But from your vantage point, and you have a very keen hand on the pulse of the market, what kind of advice would you like to offer people out there who are considering selling their house and maybe buying a house, and any kind of ideas or perspectives or paradigms on what to expect?
Yeah, absolutely, Lou. I know we were about to wrap up with our time limit here, and I will just have to say it's a seller's market, but it's also a buyer's market. You will not see interest rates this low ever again, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not speaking on behalf of FMLS or as an economist. My personal opinion, I just refied my house in Alpharetta, Lou, got 3% for a 30-year fixed. And for buyers, you're not going to see that. So as we know that the average list and sell prices are up compared to 2019, the home affordability is there with the interest rates. And for sellers, the inventory is down. Just in my Hampton Hall neighborhood alone, there is rarely 2 listings for sale. And when they go up for sale, I have 10 to 20 people asking me about them, because it's a very sought after neighborhood, school district, even with digital learning for this fall in Fulton County. They have phenomenal teachers in the school district, and it is a great time to list your property. We have put in supports for the consumers to be able to safely show their property. So the agents are now well versed in how to deal with physical distancing and show the properties, help them stage the home, help them do live streaming, virtual tours, photos to help enable those online consumers see those properties. So I would encourage all the consumers out there, don't hold your house off of the market. Get it on the market. There are buyers looking today in all of Atlanta, inside and outside the perimeter, and the affordability is there. 2008, that was a housing economy crisis. 2020, that we're here today, the housing economy in Atlanta is one of the strongest economies in our market with the other economic issues that we see. There are tons of jobs available. The jobs are different than what they used to be. We know the hospitality industry is down, but quite frankly, compared to last year, we had 2% more real estate agents as FMLS members today than we had last year. We have brokerages that are looking to hire more agents, and we have agents that are looking to list more properties, and that is a good sign for the housing economy compared to the other economies. And again, if you look at the ability to show, they're showing 10% more today with less inventory than they showed the same time at 2019. So the ability to show safely is there. The technology tools are there to market the homes. The demand is there for the homes, and the interest rates are favorable to buyers. So for the buyers, I would encourage buying. For the sellers, get the property on the market because there are inventory constraints and there are buyers looking. And for the agents and the brokers, I again say kudos to the ability of them to pivot their businesses because they are working harder than ever to sell those homes that are available and use the new technology offerings we've provided to them and get training on those technology offerings with CE credits so they can keep their licenses renewed and stay in the business while learning the new technology. So I think overall, I feel very positive because of how hard the brokers and agents are working for their consumers. And it's a great time to list, and it's a great time to buy as well, Lou.
Jeremy, it's nice to have encouraging words because of all the aspects that are not that encouraging, actually. But in the real estate market, it's very encouraging to agents and home buyers, and we definitely would like to just underscore the fact that the real estate market is extremely strong here, and thanks a lot to FMLS and your ability to provide the technology to deal with the demands of this economy and this real estate market. So thank you, Jeremy. We very much appreciate the extremely good job that you are doing to help serve our industry. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And if I can help you in any way, my email is lou@communityprofiles.net. And again, my website is atlantacommunityprofiles.com. Thank you very much, Jeremy, and we look forward to having you back next month for further updates.
Thank you so much, Lou. It's always a pleasure.
Have a great day. Thank you very much.